Is it love? Is it love? Baby, be mine. Is it love? Is it complicated? Be mine. Is it love? Is it love?
Pakati kesu na pawe senge no mupashi wenu. Pakati kesu lekeni ubukata wenu moneke. Twasongula shinarenu. Twasongula shinarenu. Twakungwila ishinarenu. Twalumbanya shinarenu.
Okay, so I'm Priscilla. Should I say my name?
Yeah.
I'm Priscilla Hasichimbwe Mwale.
My name is Mutamula Mwale, and I am married to Priscilla Mwale.
Funny enough, I had no idea that he could sing. When I first met Mutamula Mwale, I was at Zika's, and I think it was my...
It sounds funny, you say the one name.
Yeah, and I rarely call you by name before.
Sounds weird.
But anyway, I first met him at Zika's. We had a Skyfa meeting. That's a student fellowship for believers. And I was seated, just as, one of the people in attendance there. And then he happened to walk in with a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours. And I just saw this guy dressed up all in black shirt, but black trousers with a bright yellow tie. And I thought, I haven't seen anyone look so good in black, And I was like, okay. So the meeting went on quite all right, but then it was only after the meeting when I was able to have a chat and with him, and I thought, wow, what an interesting guy, and what great conversation. So
my first impression, so our stories are weird because she was seeing a set of things. I was also in my own world. When we first met, I equally thought she was an interesting person to speak to, and because I think I was in a mode where there was like a lot of people, there was a lot going on. I didn't really feel like there's a connection here or anything like that, and so we just spoke and then that was that. And then a couple of weeks later we met at a Matthew Ngosa concert and stuff, and that's when I was like, okay.
Yeah, because you're an interesting guy to talk to. So what was supposed to be a casual conversation ended up being like 5 hours of just talking and whatever, and we didn't really. It was those days when we used to do overnight concerts, so we ended up speaking from like midnight until like 5 in the morning. So yeah. It took a while because I think at the time I had other pursuits. There were also situations in her life, and stuff, and so it took a couple of months, I think, before we actually realized I think there is something here, and because when we got to talking and getting to know one another, we discovered that we had quite a number of mutual friends. And why we hadn't met prior to the time we had met, we were surprised because one of my very close friends at the time was at some point a housemate to him. Yeah. And so when we met at church, maybe I should mention his name because he wants to take the credit for hooking us up together. But Sheba, this friend of ours, who's a very great bass guitarist. He invited me to North Mid Assemblies, and we had happened to go there. And I think from then on, I started going to the church, not because I was interested in seeing Mutamula or anything, but it just worked out that it was very convenient to go to that church. We always walked as a group of students to church, to and from church. So during the breaks between the first service and the second service, we'll be, chatting and greeting everybody who had come for service and everything. And it so happened that we were sort of in the same clique. And so everybody sort of, had found their special person or was, pursuing someone. So at some point we found ourselves being the two of us and we'll just chat. We'll just chat. And I think from then on we discovered, hey, I think this person, I can do life with them. I think this person is, very interesting. And so it developed from there. So it started from friendship and then eventually just moved into what it is now.
I'm not even sure what the period is in terms of months, but we became friends and would always be talking, and then from just meeting at church it turned into
coffee dates.
In fact, even before coffee dates, there was phone conversations, and then eventually, I think the interesting thing for me was how she was very different from everyone else that I was pursuing or had tried to be with, because she had paid no attention to the extra stuff, the singing and the music side of things and stuff, and she was just interested in the person, And I also love the fact that I never felt under pressure to impress her or to be something that I am not, which is usually the case, especially when you're coming with the quote-unquote name. But I never felt that pressure. She never pressured me to take her to certain places. She never pressured me to buy her anything or whatever. It was just, we were just like, just having great conversation and whatnot. And so there was a lot of qualities that she had, her integrity, her passion, her commitment to life and even to the things of God, and I could see that this is wife material, because I think there's a very big difference between girlfriend material and wife material. I could see those qualities, you know what I mean? She wasn't trying to be flashy, trying to be the it girl, trying to, Zimia neighbor type thing, you know what I mean?
I was actually the opposite. I was such a tomboy.
She was such a tomboy when I met her.
I was such a tomboy. I don't think I owned a skirt. If I did, it was only one.
Yeah.
Which I wore religiously on Sundays.
Yep. So it was those qualities that I saw, and I could see. Funny enough, I think for both of us, we could see ourselves like in the future. Like I can work with that. I could do life with this person. And so, after much, prayer and meditation and I just felt that God was saying that. So yeah. Anyway.
No, fortunately, you didn't come with God had a vision type of thing.
Yeah. So I think it was from there, and I just felt that this makes sense. And for me, the decision was a logical one. It wasn't even like she's alluding to. It wasn't a dream. It wasn't a vision. It wasn't, someone giving a word or anything of that nature. It was just, for me, it was just a logical decision. I'm like, this makes sense. When I'm with her, I feel this way. Like when we're talking, conversations make sense. I can see what we're talking about, future things. She's filling in the gaps, like certain things that you're not really thinking about. She'd be like, well, what about this perspective? And then, okay. So it was that sort of a thing. Yeah.
I think based on the fact that we were friends and our conversations, just naturally flowed and everything, even the things that we spoke about, even when we spoke about our, our goals, about, what we believe in, or what we stand for. I think those things we could see ourselves walk through life together. And so it was a no-brainer. It was just like, I can't quite remember how.
No, actually.
Oh, wait, the confession.
Actually, what happened was, during the time that we're having conversation, it slipped out of her mouth.
Oh, that I liked him.
She likes me, So, from that day onwards, I think my brain was scrambled and stuff, and so, but by the time I was saying, like, look, let's take this to the next level, she was like,
I was already gone. You
were gone, but you were like, I'm not, my dad, my mom, like, I gotta let them know, like, what's up, and everything. So, I got a little frustrated with that answer, but, she took her time and she spoke to her parents and everything, and eventually she gave me the green light. The green light.
Yeah, because
and said
it's all good.
Yeah.
No, I think it's important to let your elders know what your plans are, especially when you're intending to date someone for marriage, or court someone for, with marriage in mind. And because I had marriage in mind, I was like, okay, I better tell my parents. And it also allowed them the opportunity to pray, I think, about the whole situation, and even ask the hard questions.
And to check me out.
Yeah, to do some background checks on him. And so when they gave the green light, it was all good. Everyone knew that I was dating this guy, including our leaders at church. So. No. We disagreement. We never broke up.
Yeah. Because I was like, this is it. I'm done.
Yeah, we never.
No more.
We never broke up, but we had when we have disagreements, would have to, resolve it with a level head, and say, okay, fine, Priscilla, it's not you I'm angry with. We have a problem here. Let's navigate, a way through it. So
I think the interesting thing was, at the time that we made the decision that we're going to be a couple, both of us independently had sort of been reading and, getting knowledge on relationships and stuff, So at the time that this started, we were a little bit knowledgeable in terms of like what a relationship entails, especially like a godly relationship and stuff. So we had read books, we had sat under people and listened to people that had messages about relationships and stuff. And one of the key things I remember was how they would talk about being on the same page and always addressing the issue, not the individual. So we would have our differences, but we tried to stick to the issue as opposed to attacking the person. And that started very early in our relationship. And also one of the rules that we had set for ourselves was we would never use vulgar language with each other. We would never get physical with each other. Even if the other person has said or done something that warrants, like if people were to ask you, don't know if you're HTK, they will be like, anyway, okay, you are not supposed to do that, but we understand, you know what I mean? So that rule was already set from pretty much the get-go, that this is how we're going to, be in the relationship.
Okay, I'll say something, then you can always say. But the engagement wasn't a surprise. Again, it wasn't like what you see on Hollywood, where a guy comes and kneels down and you're taken by surprise. No, because I think there's a set way of doing things in Zambia. So you have to inform the elders and say, I'm coming through. Okay. what would be probably equivalent to asking the father of the bride, can I marry your daughter? Here, you don't ask the father. You have to ask the uncles, because there's that, African saying, it takes a village to raise a child. And so here, you don't ask the father, you ask the village. So we had that discussion. I conveyed the message. And then, of course, the uncles came through, and of course, the processes were done. But he also now proposed in the so-called, Western or Hollywood way. And the thing is, I wasn't expecting that. I just thought, okay, it's done. I'm getting married. Let's go. Let's begin, planning. But then he surprised me, and I can't even remember what it was, but we met up, and there he begins this long, nice speech of how he can't live without me, and got down on his knee and gave me the ring and everything, and of course I said yes. But it was so beautiful just to have that moment, because I was equally surprised. I wasn't expecting it, so my reaction was very genuine.
You can kind of tell, if you pay attention to people's fingers, you can kind of tell. Plus, I always used to use my little pinky to sort of figure out what's going on and stuff. So I could estimate and say, I think
it's about here.
I think we should be okay. So yeah, I think we obviously had coming from a typical Zambian background, there's the issue of Vachibukombe and all those things, and it was important to us to go through those channels. And I remember, I can't remember whether it was a sermon or it happened, at home and whatever, where we had, I think, it was a family member who came with a girl and said, I'm engaged. And then they were like, engaged to who? And then they were like, who went to take place? So I kind of picked it up from there. Like, no, I think procedure is, you engage your family members about your intentions. And then, of course, they follow the protocols that are involved with those kind of things. And then, in most cases, when you've done that, that's good enough, an engagement. But for me, I felt I needed to do the Hollywood thing, and just, sprinkle a little.
Yeah.
So I went and got a ring, and, I got on my knees and, did the whole shebang, and here we are.
Well, marriage has been good to me because I've actually gained weight. But when we were dating and courtship, I was pretty small, and so finding a dress my size was very, very challenging. I remember we had to move around town, check various boutiques, then move on to dressmakers, and just trying to find something that I could fit. I think I was between a size 4 and a size 6 UK size, and we were fortunate enough to find someone who had plenty dresses, and so I settled on one, and it had to have it readjusted to fit my size. So that was my wedding gown for the church. But then for the evening service, my sister organized a dress for me, which I got to wear. And then the bridal party was also covered by the same. So it wasn't challenging. Well, it wasn't too challenging finding something to wear. And then for the shoes, I got very comfortable sandals with a very tiny heel, and I think that was very ideal and appropriate, because we danced the night away, really. But in terms of the outfit, that was easy. The planning of the actual event was very interesting. I think I'll leave it to Mutamula to explain. But having good friends, having solid well-wishers was very key. And family was very key in having a successful wedding.
So Bless, my friend Bless was playing Here Comes the Bride. Yeah, Blessing to Malenga Jr. And yeah, I think I might have cried.
You were the beaming, you're the beaming groom.
Yeah, I might have been a little emotional at the time, but it was overwhelming. And I remember because I couldn't believe it that she was walking down the aisle and she was gonna, you know, be my girl for the rest of our lives. And so it was very overwhelming. And I need to check the footage of the wedding. Might have, I cannot confirm nor deny whether it was tear shed, but I might need to confirm on that one. Yeah, so yeah, but I remember it was emotional. Yeah, it was very freestyle, intentionally. So what we did was we didn't have a wedding lineup per se, because
we just had our chief chief lady who was Namatama. Yeah. And then he had his close friend Mutinta.
Yeah.
And then we had a flower girl, Tendai.
Yeah.
I think that was
There was a boy as well. I can't remember who the boy was though.
I think it was Filippo Poe. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It was
anyway,
that was the core team.
Yeah. So what we decided to do, because we wanted to avoid rehearsals and the hassles that come with that, and people saying, "I should the transport, send you know what I mean? No, and all that drama that comes with wedding lineup." So what we decided to do was like, guys, this is what we're gonna do. We are gonna be like, the music's gonna start playing, and then just kind of like wing it,
like
so freestyle. So.
It was actually our siblings, and then of course we
thought just the people, like the chiefs from the guy, you know. I think
it was Chisanza's idea to actually dance.
Yeah. So our siblings basically decided, and we didn't. At least I didn't know. So her sister decided to bought matching dresses.
To buy.
Yeah. So what did I say?
Sorry, maybe you guys did that.
What did I say? No, keep it. What did I say?
To bought matching dress.
I said to bought.
I think you did.
I did not say that. Anyway, so they decided to buy like these matching dresses, and I had no idea. I actually said to bought. Wow. Babe. Anyway. Nabanjeleko mkwait chaishire no kwato chadisa jama kwa Cape Town tupuzi foto tunafika kono. Anyway, so they bought matching dresses. I had no idea. So I just saw our siblings coming in matching dresses, and then my brother-in-law, and then like a whole bunch of them. Just so Matthew Ngosa was I'm still stuck on the board. Matthew Ngosa was basically playing and stuff. Good friend of mine, and he was doing, what song was he doing? Is it Colonel?
Maybe.
Yeah, anyway, one of these hit Matthew Ngosa songs, and as we were coming in, so it was fun because we just freestyled. At some point, jackets came out, died there, so yeah, it was one of those. Uh, 16 years.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 16 years this year.
This year.
And we have 3 kids.
Actually, now he's not always singing now, but then there's always someone singing in the house because the children have, gotten the gift, so they actually are very musical. So you find there's someone singing when someone's bathing, when someone's cooking, when someone's sweeping. Yeah. So music is very much a big part of our lives. But singing, because what happens is when someone hears, oh, you're married to Mutamula Mwale, they think he is forever singing and serenading.
My love, there's only you. No, it's not like that.
Of course, every wife should, cover their husband in prayer. You should encourage them. You should be their biggest supporter and fan. When they do feel low and get down, you should always be there to cover them and just lift them up in prayer to the Lord. But then also I'm part of the group. There's a group that we sing with. It's called Tribe of Judah. So I'm also part of that group. And I mean, I'm available if our leader says we are meeting at this time for rehearsal. Priscilla has to just make sure that she's there, because I'm not his wife in that moment. I am also a part of the group. You are sharing your person with the world, even if they're not famous or known. But your significant other, you're definitely sharing with the world. But then the position he's at, it's like he has to share more of himself. But then I think he's done a very nice, he's got a very nice balance. So I don't feel like I have to compete or for his attention or fight for his attention. I already know I'm special. I already know I mean so much to him. So it's not there. And when he's doing ministry, you have to realize that that's ministry. And let him have his moment. There are many fans that you meet who are starstruck, and all these ladies, let me have a hug, and how they squeeze, how tightly they squeeze, if they want to pick, I have no idea. But the thing is,
Who wants to pick now?
Me.
Yeah, yes. Look at the others. No.
Okay, but I'm comfortable with that because I understand, where.
No, what she means is she's not comfortable with the picking and whatever, but she's secure with herself.
Yes, I'm secure.
I don't want nobody coming to peck me, no. So
yeah, I'm secure with that. Okay.
How do you resolve conflict? Good one. And this one I have to give credit to our counselors who did an excellent job.
Yes.
The late Colin Chasha, may so rest in peace, and Joy Chasha, who we love and have so much respect for. But conflict resolution, stick to the issue.
Yes.
Deal with the issue always, because there's a tendency to sort of gravitate in the territory of personal attacks, and so now you go. So you went
last time.
Problem you with
no. Last time,
and it gets into that, and you fail to deal with the issue. Yeah. But if the issue is finances, then you're like, so, babe, remember we had that plan to spend this money this way and stuff, but I've noticed there's a new Brazilian here.
New Brazilian.
That wasn't that wasn't the plan. So I think that next time we have such a thing, this is what we're still gonna stick to the plan. Okay. You know what I mean? And when you stick to the issue, I remember in our counseling they used to tell us, if you're going to stick to the issue and not the individual, you are going to deal with the issue. Yeah. When you attack the individual, it's human nature to want to defend yourself. Okay? Like, what did you say? Like, what you call me?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And so, if I just come and say, and then she'll just be like, so I can't spend money.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Is this a prison? So like you instead of dealing with the issue, you are now attacking each other. Yeah. Problem, no, but am I a prisoner in this? You know what I mean? And it gets into something else.
Completely move away from
you move away from the issue. But if you deal with the issue you stick to the issue, you will deal with the issue. And the other thing that they taught us about conflict resolution is that your spouse is not the enemy. So you can't turn your spouse into your enemy, and sometimes you can even find yourself in a situation where you start bad mouthing your spouse. You know what I mean? Because you are so angry, and that anger has consumed me, that you feel it is necessary to attack the individual. You know what I mean? And then it escalates into something else because so what was that you were saying? You're busy taking out my reputation. What? And it gets into something else. Yeah. So yeah, that's supposed to be briefly.
That's supposed to be briefly. Let me add on to what he has said. Just as loving someone is a choice, forgiveness is also a choice, and you have to constantly forgive when you are in a relationship of any kind. Even when you're in marriage, you have to constantly forgive. And some things you just have to overlook and say, it won't hurt me. Okay, my ego might be hurt or bruised, but I forgive this person. I let them go. So that is really important. That forgiveness is a choice. And then of course we ladies love to do the silent treatment, but we were told in counseling that, guys, that doesn't help anyone. So you must actually speak about the issue, and as ladies we must give our men a moment to actually analyze that problem and process that problem before you attend to it. But we had a bit of an issue, I remember, even when we started out, because for me, I want to talk about it and talk about it right now. And then Mutamula wants to have time to process it. So sometimes it doesn't help to be quick to speak, but just take a few steps back and say, okay, this is the problem, and always refer to, I felt hurt, or I felt bad. Not it's your fault, it's you. You always refer to how you felt about the issue, and from then on you can move on. And of course, don't go to bed being angry. Don't let the sun set. So if we've disagreed and I'm upset about something, or he's upset about something, and then he calls me, I'll say, okay, we'll talk, we'll laugh about it. But then I'll tell him, I still have 2 more hours before the sun sets, so I'm still upset with you, okay? But it's just something to just laugh about sometimes, and his patience. I think he has a whole lot of patience, especially for those people who know me. They won't say that I'm a quiet person, So, and I'm very strong-willed, and almost always want to have my way. But then Mutamula is very, very patient, and sometimes even just the advice that he gives is solid, so I can depend on him for that.
She's a go-getter. So I'm the exact opposite. For me, everything has to be meticulous, calculated, and whatever. She's more spontaneous. So we create a good balance, and I like that side of her because she jumps first, and then she's like, "Oh, did we carry the parachute?" You know what I mean? So so it's gotten us into good situations a lot of times because she'll see something and then she's spontaneous in the way she reacts to something. So I appreciate that side of her. She's very caring, very accommodating, and very supportive.
She only said one thing, so now I look like when I call, he always has something nice to say. Yes, my love. Yes, my heart. Yes, babe. Yes, there's always an endearing response, and I really love that. And also when he prays for me, I really appreciate those times.
It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon, and how that life is about seasons, life is about stages, life is about levels and whatever word you can use, and things go it's like phases, so to speak. and that things don't happen at the same time. So you don't have to be under pressure to be like the Joneses, because the Joneses bought a house in Ibex, and so pressure never Ibex to feed it. You know what I mean? But realize that life is about stages and phases and seasons and all those things. And so that's how we take it. And we are appreciating where we are at right now, you know, and how far God has brought us. I think we have a bit more perspective now, because in our younger days we were too in a rush to succeed, and we realized it's not the destination that should be the important thing. It's the journey, you know what I mean? And learn to appreciate every place, because like one of the things that we realize, we don't take enough photos. You know what I mean? And now
it's just you. It's just your generation.
I don't take enough photos. You know what I mean? And you're like, I've changed. You know what I mean? Like, so whatever place that you're at, if you're driving a little bitty car, just appreciate that seasons. Like I have this bit little car, you know, and it's that little bitty car that teaches you how to change tires, because I'm a bank, you know, it's that little bitty car that teaches you to push, because start tire for, you know what I mean? And so every season comes with its own lessons and its own, you know, things that it reveals to you, you know, and it's preparing you for what is to come. So we take it like that. It's not a marathon, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. We're taking it one,
enjoying every step.
Right, and enjoying every step of the journey. Particularly now, when everything is very polarized, you know, everyone has it's like everybody is into their truth. I think it's important to get knowledge about what marriage entails. It's important to understand what you're about to get into. And realize, and I think the simplest way I can put it is, marriage, you go into marriage to serve. And in the way that God created marriage so that the woman serves the man so that his needs are met, and the man serves the woman so that her needs are met. And in the end, there are no needs, because both needs are met. And when you get into a marriage relationship with the idea that I am here to be served, you will find that your needs will never be fully served, because the other person also has the expectation that you get what I mean? But if you made your life's goal, you say, you know what, I am going to make sure that my spouse, my friend, I meet their needs to the best of my ability, okay? And they also have the same mindset, you will find that your needs are met. It may not be all the needs that are met, but you know, a good portion of that will be met. And that's the encouragement I'd like to give to couples, that, you know, have the attitude of servanthood, have the attitude of, you know, I am here to serve my friend. And if you do that and your friend is served, we actually do that in boyfriend and girlfriend stage. You get what I mean? We go out of our way to, you know, make sure that Valentine's, Mwale, and all those things, you know, and we do these things. And then when we get married, you're like, Namebo, let damage. Wait, how did that change? How did that switch happen from, you know, baby, I got you, to Namebo? You know what I mean? So I think that when we have that mindset, it really helps.
I think for couples who are intending to get married, you should talk about your expectations. Expectations in the marriage. What do you want? And be very truthful, very honest, very open. You must also have a mentor, okay? Someone you are reporting to daily about the health of your relationship. So it's not just good to say, oh, I've told my mother, my father, the church. No, but have someone who is actually the referee in your relationship. So when they see one of you is breaking the rules or going offside or something of that sort, they can call you to order. So that's my contribution on that. My name is Priscilla Mwale.
And my name is Mutamula Mwale. And
this is how we met.
Therefore I wait Ndefwaya imwe, ndefwaya imwe, ndefwaya imwe, oh ndefwaya imwe, ndefwaya imwe, ndefwaya imwe, ndefwaya imwe.